America, June 2025. The air is thick with anticipation, the kind that comes before a summer storm. The country is humming along, people going about their daily routines, unaware that history is about to take a wild turn. Suddenly, the headlines explode. Two of the world's most powerful and unpredictable figures, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, are locked in a public feud. The sun is shining, but the mood is anything but bright as these titans clash in front of the world. Imagine being at a lavish wedding, champagne flowing, caviar glistening on silver trays, when suddenly your two eccentric, ultra-wealthy uncles start hurling delicacies at each other. It's shocking, a little bit hilarious, and yet deep down, you always knew it could happen. That's what this felt like. A spectacle that was both absurd and strangely inevitable. Just days before, Trump and Musk were seen together, plotting strategies, shaking hands, and mapping out plans that could shape the future of the nation. They were the ultimate power duo, their ambitions seemingly aligned, their influence stretching from Wall Street to Silicon Valley. But in a flash, the partnership crumbled. Now their disagreements are broadcast for all to see, on television, across social media, and in every corner of the internet. The world watches as their rivalry escalates, each exchange more dramatic than the last. The shockwaves ripple far beyond the White House. Newsrooms scramble to keep up, Wall Street traders nervously watch the markets, and even astronauts aboard the International Space Station catch wind of the drama. It's not just a political spat, it's a global event. This is no ordinary disagreement. It's a high-stakes clash of egos and ideologies, with the potential to reshape the country's future. The Capitol is abuzz, protesters gather, and the world holds its breath, waiting to see what will happen next. It all began on a seemingly unremarkable Thursday, June 5th. The day started like any other, with people sipping coffee and scrolling through their phones. But by noon, the nation was glued to their screens, watching history unfold in real time. The President of the United States and the world's most famous tech mogul, bickering not over trivial matters, but over billions of dollars, government contracts, and the very direction of America's future. Their argument is as petty as a teenage squabble, but the stakes couldn't be higher. Across the country, Americans are left to wonder, is this a moment to grab the popcorn and enjoy the show, or should they be heading for the nearest bunker? The uncertainty is as thick as the summer heat. Not so long ago, Musk was Trump's secret weapon, a trusted advisor and a key player in his return to the White House. Their partnership was the talk of the town, a symbol of the new era of tech-driven politics. But now, that alliance has gone up in flames, spectacularly and publicly. Like a SpaceX rocket that soars with promise, only to explode in a fiery spectacle, their friendship is a reminder that in politics, alliances can be as volatile and unpredictable as the people who make them. Flashback to 2024. Elon Musk was Trump's biggest cheerleader, pouring millions into his campaign coffers and making headlines with every donation. He wasn't just a silent backer, Musk was front and center, using his influence to energize Trump's base and sway undecided voters. His support was loud, visible, and impossible to ignore. On social media, Musk's tweets became rallying cries, sparking viral trends and drawing millions into the political conversation. His massive online following amplified every message, turning campaign events into global spectacles and making Musk a political force in his own right. When Trump returned to the Oval Office, Musk's role shifted from supporter to insider. He became a top advisor, handpicked to help reshape the federal government. The mission: cut bureaucracy, inject innovation, and disrupt the status quo. Musk wasn't just a figurehead, he was in the room where decisions were made, whispering bold ideas and tech dreams into the president's ear. He pushed for radical changes, from AI-driven government systems to privatized space programs, leaving his mark on policy at every turn. The Trump-Musk alliance was odd but effective, two disruptors, united by ambition and chaos. Their partnership was built on mutual respect, but also on a shared desire to shake up the establishment and rewrite the rules of power. Musk brought tech savvy, a legion of fans, and a futuristic vision. Trump got innovation, credibility with younger voters, and a new supporter base that saw him as a champion of progress. But power and ego are a volatile mix. As their influence grew, so did the friction between them. Disagreements over policy, strategy, and the spotlight began to surface. Cracks appeared, small at first. Disagreements behind closed doors, subtle jabs in interviews, then widening into a chasm as their visions for the future clashed more openly. For a while, the dream team kept up appearances, cruising from one high-profile success to another. But beneath the surface, tensions simmered, and the alliance was growing fragile. Eventually, the partnership began to unravel in public view, setting the stage for a spectacular fallout that would shock both their supporters and the world. So, what caused the split between two of the most powerful and unpredictable figures in American politics? Was it a scandal, a secret deal gone wrong, or something even more dramatic? The answer, surprisingly, is far more mundane, yet infinitely more explosive in its consequences. It wasn't rockets, tweets, or even a late-night phone call. The real trigger was a tax and spending bill, one that would send shockwaves through Washington and beyond. This bill, signed with a flourish by President Trump, was intended to be the cornerstone of his second term, a bold statement of his priorities and a promise to his supporters that he was still the dealmaker-in-chief. But for Elon Musk, the bill was nothing short of a disaster. He didn't mince words, calling it a disgusting abomination in front of cameras and behind closed doors alike. Musk, who had been brought in to shake up the system and streamline government operations, saw the bill as a betrayal of everything he stood for. To him it was bloated, backward, and a step in the wrong direction, a relic of old-school politics, not the future he envisioned. And Musk didn't just keep his disappointment to himself. He took to social media, press conferences, and every available platform to make his outrage known. His criticism was sharp, relentless, and impossible to ignore. What followed was a fundamental clash of titans: Trump's desire to cement his legacy versus Musk's uncompromising vision for the future. It was more than a policy disagreement. It was a battle of egos, ideals, and ambitions. The tension finally boiled over in May 2025, when Musk made the dramatic decision to resign from his government post. The headlines were everywhere. Musk resigns. The message was clear. The partnership, once hailed as revolutionary, was officially over. Musk's departure wasn't just a quiet exit. It was a public declaration that he refused to compromise his principles, even if it meant walking away from the highest levels of power. The tax bill, which was supposed to be Trump's crowning achievement, instead became the spark that ignited their split. What was meant to unite the party ended up dividing its most influential leaders. It was the unstoppable force of Musk's innovation crashing into the immovable object of Trump's political will. With billions of dollars and the future of the country at stake, the fallout was not just personal, it was national. As the dust settled, one thing was clear: the stage was set for an epic showdown, and the world was watching to see what would happen next. Musk's public exit didn't sit well with Trump. The president hit back, threatening to cut off Musk's government contracts and subsidies. Trump's message on Truth Social was clear: terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. SpaceX alone held $22 billion in government contracts, with $15 billion from NASA. Trump was threatening to turn off the financial tap, a power play to bring Musk back in line. He even withdrew support for a Musk ally nominated to lead NASA. The battle lines were drawn, and Trump fired a very expensive warning shot. Musk didn't take Trump's threats lying down. On June 5th, he threatened to decommission SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft, the main ride for NASA astronauts to the ISS. With Boeing's Starliner still in development, SpaceX was NASA's only option. Musk was playing hardball, showing he had leverage. His was orbiting Earth at 17,500 miles per hour. He also attacked Trump's trade policies, and even brought up Trump's alleged Epstein connections. Musk suggested forming a new political party and supported calls for Trump's impeachment. This was no longer a spat, it was all-out political war. Musk was ready to fight on every front: tech, politics, and space. The internet became the battlefield. Trump, on Truth Social, launched personal and policy attacks, even mocking Musk's appearance. Musk, on X, fired back, critiquing Trump's leadership and dangling the Epstein connection. The feud spilled into interviews and public statements, with Trump dismissing Musk as the man who has lost his mind. The speed and ferocity of the online attacks were breathtaking. Each post fueled the fire, making resolution harder. The world watched, half aghast, half enthralled, as two giants brawled in public. This wasn't just entertainment, it had real consequences. In the digital age, personal disputes between the powerful can escalate fast, with little room for diplomacy. You might wonder, why does this matter to regular folks? SpaceX isn't just for joyrides, it's critical for NASA and the military. The Dragon capsule is the main way American astronauts reach the ISS. If Musk had pulled Dragon, NASA would have been in a bind, possibly relying on Russia. Financially, the stakes were huge, $38 billion in government support for Musk's companies. Tesla's share price took a hit, affecting pensions and the broader economy. When titans clash, everyone feels the tremors. The feud exposed America's reliance on private companies for essential services. NASA tried to reassure the public, but behind the scenes, nerves were frayed. This was more than a celebrity spat, it was a potential crisis for space and security. The fallout was swift and widespread. Musk's reputation in Washington took a hit, his volatility became a concern. Trump projected strength, dismissing Musk's threats and peace overtures. Despite the drama, Musk eventually walked back his threat to decommission Dragon. He responded positively to calls for peace, but the damage was done. Tesla's share price wobbled, and the White House's relationship with Musk was fractured. Trump's aides urged him to focus on his tax bill, but he relished the fight. Failed peace talks showed this wound wouldn't heal quickly. Pride came at a hefty price for both men. After the fireworks, things quieted down, but the tension lingered. Musk's retraction of the Dragon threat brought relief, but trust was broken. Trump seemed uninterested in reconciliation, focused on his agenda and teaching Musk a lesson. The threat to Musk's government contracts still loomed. Musk's boldness is his brand, but it's also his Achilles heel. This showdown is a reminder of the volatile mix of big personalities, money, and politics. Whether this feud is a footnote or a turning point remains to be seen. One thing's certain, with these two, the next eruption is always just around the corner.